views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hola, everyone. Welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, we'll celebrate the 20th anniversary of I Love My Hair children's book by Natasha Tarpley as the One Book, One Bronx Club prepares for its call and response events bringing readers together. After that, we'll speak with mompreneurs to learn about the launch of Moms Make It Work event that will bring moms together for a day of networking, relaxation, and inspiration. Plus, we'll find out what Lehman Center for the Performing Arts has in store for its 38th anniversary season as we discuss upcoming performances and their newly renovated building. And later on in the show, Bobby C brings us up to date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And then we speak with band leader Aurora Flores of Zon del Barrio, along with the Fania all-star percussionist Nicky Marrero to discuss the band's upcoming performance for the Celia Cruz exhibition and concert. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way because now we are officially open. Welcome back to Open, everyone. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche for the next hour. Always inviting you to get social with us online. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV or like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, follow moi on Twitter, FB, Instagram, Instastories, LinkedIn, Snapchat at Rhina Valentin. So, for most little girls, the image of good hair, especially on dolls, is the sleek, bone, straight, silky hair. And, well, our next guest decided to create a book 20 years ago celebrating the beauty of the African-American hair. And today we celebrate I Love My Hair children's book and the impact it's had on girls of color. And the book is officially part of One Book, One Bronx, a book club bringing readers together. And here now to tell us more, we welcome Director of One Book, One Bronx, Ron Kavanaugh, along with author Natasha Tarpley. Hello and welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
On 20 years.
I can't believe it, but thank you.
Of having this enormous impact on the next generation and generations to come, and so on and so on.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful experience. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to having more on this conversation, more on this topic. But I want to get to know a little bit about the One Book, One Bronx,
Yeah.
Ron, because Ron, you know I love you, and I have to say it to our audience time and time again.
Yeah.
You are just like this organization hopper and within the Bronx, and every time you come on, it's always
I
something.
wish somebody knew. I know.
Well, you're working with a new organization, but the idea really is that you always serve as in some form of enhancing just our community. So let's talk about this One Book, One Bronx, and what
Sure.
made you decide to even come up with this concept.
Sure. You know, well, as you know, I've been on your show several times, and I often speak about literature and people reading or not reading. One Book, One Bronx kind of seeks to bring people together to read a book. It could be one book in one location, or it could be multiple books in different locations. But the whole idea is to kind of create a supportive environment for readers. So often when we read in isolation, we don't stay committed to reading. So you start a book, it might not be connecting with you, but you don't want to give it up, but you don't have like a support system around you. What One Book, One Bronx does is kind of create a network for you. We're meeting every week. We'll be reading a different book every month. So this is our first book. It's just a one-off event that we're doing tomorrow at the Bronx Library Center. But then the next Friday, we'll be reading Bodega Dreams by Ernesto Quinones at Bronx Native, their store. And then a month after that, we'll be reading Audre Lorde's Sister Outsider book. And we'll be reading that at Bronx Art Space.
So you're floating around the different locations.
We're trying to go to different locations, be in neighborhoods, not so isolated, asking people to come to us. We're really going to people wherever they are. So our first 2 sites are in the South Bronx, around 140th, 137th Street.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
And aside from inviting people and basically encouraging people
And it's free.
to read.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my
It's
favorite
free.
word.
The book, and we give people books. So we don't want people to struggle to join this book club. We don't want them to say, well, I don't want to spend $15, $20 for the book. We give books to people, and they can keep the books. They're not loaned to them. Once they, come to the first session, we give everyone books.
All right, so let's have a little conversation about the fact that you invite the actual authors to do a reading, because that's something new that I've heard of within book clubs. Usually, there's like a leader, and then there's a book assigned, and then everybody has to read it within a certain time. But instead, you're inviting the authors to come and read, and you're allowing the audience to participate in some type of interactive call and response. So, Natasha, let's talk about you.
Sure.
Let's talk about this legendary book that has impacted so many lives and what this means to you to come and be present to introducing it to another generation.
It's really an honor, because one of the things that I really value about this book is that it's not a book that necessarily, got all the big accolades or New York Times bestseller. This is a book that people in the community and communities really embrace. Educators, librarians, parents. This is a book that's been passed from shelf to shelf, classroom to classroom, kid to kid. So that to me makes it really special. 20 years ago, I wrote this book based on my own experiences getting my hair combed. In fact, it wasn't so much about not liking my hair. It was really a book to encapsulate this experience of sharing that very special time with my mom. There are 4 kids in my family, so getting my hair combed was one of the times that I had my mom to myself.
Right.
And we made up this game, actually, or yeah, I guess you'd call it a game, where we pretended that there were people who lived in my hair. And so we would go around and pretend like, that there was someone on this side of my hair or that side of my hair. And that was a way to distract me from those tangles and some of those things that are not so fun about getting your hair combed. But it was an experience that really moved me on a lot of levels, because it not only helped me to kind of appreciate my hair, but also gave me a creative outlet, where I used my imagination. And I think that was one of the inspirations for me in terms of becoming a writer as well. So I was hoping that experience would also help kids who may not have this love of their hair to not only see themselves reflected in such a joyful, positive way, but also to kind of spark their imagination and their own creativity when it comes to their hair.
As a mom, you just sparked mine. I'm like, wait a minute, because that's the biggest issue in my household. It's like, I'm the mean lady when it comes to combing, brushing the hair. I have a 9-year-old, and obviously we have very curly hair. So, but I love this whole village and people and animals or whatever it is living in there, and we're gonna come visit them. And I'm like, I'll come up with my own concept. But I love just the idea of making it adventurous.
Yes.
And so with that, you actually get to read this to people in person, and I'm sure you've done it on numerous occasions at tours, but this is different because the conversation's going to be had while you're present versus everybody reading it and then coming back and writing an essay, So what's that going to be like for you? What do you anticipate, I should ask?
I think it's going to be a really wonderful experience. This book touches on so many things in people's lives. You know, it touches on our sense of self. It touches on our sense of beauty. And so whenever I read this to audiences, these kinds of issues always come up. And so this opportunity to have this space and to have this conversation in a really positive way, I think is wonderful. And Ron and I have been friends for years, and I've, you know, just so appreciate what he does with Mosaic Magazine and all of the other work that he does in the Bronx. I'm from Chicago, so I'm looking at it from afar.
Oh, nice.
But,
well, welcome to the Bronx.
Yeah, thank you. I lived in New York for many years, though, but yeah, this guy is wonderful. So
we love Ron.
Yeah.
We love Ron. I joke around with him, but you know, I do love his level of social consciousness and the fact that everything he does has a social relevance to the times.
Right.
And he does it in a nice, artistic way. Although he's the curator and the organizer or coordinator, he's still an artist in the way he does it.
Yeah.
So I want to acknowledge you for that.
Thank you. But there's so many of us now in the Bronx. Noel Santos, Sarah Fennell, all kind of working together to really keep books and reading and culture like really important in the lives of Bronx people. So yeah.
Yeah. So you did mention that you were going to have a book club reading. What is it? A gathering every week, or the events once a week?
Yeah.
Like, explain that to me, because I got a
Sure.
little confused because I read something different on the website.
That's okay.
Okay.
So the I Love My Hair event is just a one-off event.
Right.
That's tomorrow. Then after that, we'll be meeting weekly, but reading the same book every month. So for the month of October, we're going to be reading Bodega Dreams. For the month of November, we'll be reading Sister Outsider. We haven't selected a book for December yet. And we'll read it for like 4 weekends. We'll meet at a location. We'll give you books. You read the book at home, then you come together to discuss the book. And you bring your reality and your stories to the conversation that we have every week. So we'll be meeting on Saturdays at Bronx Native, and I think Tuesday evenings at Bronx Art Space.
Beautiful. Well done. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
And thank you, Natasha.
Thank you.
I love my hair.
Great.
Wonderful. To reading this.
I used to love my hair when I had hair.
That's what I love about you, Ron. You keep it real. You don't have no worries anymore.
No worries.
No conditioner, no nothing. You guys, Natasha Tarpley will be reading I Love My Hair on Saturday, September 22nd from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Bronx Library Center located at 310 Kingsbridge Road. And for more information on Natasha Tarpley's books, you can visit natashatarpley.com. And to learn more about One Book, One Bronx, please visit onebronx.com. We have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll find out about an upcoming event that all mothers are going to enjoy. Don't go anywhere.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Love is kind.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Open, I should say. And you know, I'm always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNet TV, and while you're there, tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. So, who says that? Well, you can't have it all as a mom, that is. And well, moms make it work. A new community group for mothers, which they say you can, with the right support, of course, guiding you towards balance. As mothers, it's easy to lose sight of oneself and your dreams. And however, you know, we've got Moms Make It Works, and they're here to help inspire fellow moms to live their dreams. Let's take a look at Moms Make It Work.
My name is Veronica Guiti. I'm a wife, a mother to 2 beautiful children, and the creator of Moms Make It Work. Moms Make It Work was actually inspired by my own mom. She has 8 kids, and there's not a time that I look back and don't remember her being there. But the price that she paid for that, she kind of forgot her dreams and passions. She was becoming an empty nester, and the question was, what's next? Now as a mother, I can really understand what my mom was going through. It's hard trying to balance out everything. Right now, I'm a reporter, but my dream has always been to host my own show. I know I can do it, and you can do it too. And that's the mission of Moms Make It Work, to inspire, support, and build our dreams together. Being part of a mom unity is so important because you're surrounding yourselves around other women who understand what you're going through, but we're there to encourage you. We want to see you win as much as you want to see your children win. I get asked all the time, can moms truly have it all? And I give the same answers that many successful women have given. Yes, but not all at the same time. However, our job is to make sure that you don't forget yourself while you're raising your children. You have the freedom to put yourself first. When your children see you reaching for the stars, they'll want to soar too. There's no perfect balance in motherhood, but you better believe that moms can make it work.
And joining us now to discuss, the launch of their upcoming event, The Exchange. We welcome Moms Make It Work founder Veronica Guiti, and partnering with her on the launch party is the owner of Mott Haven Bar and Grill and founder of 31 Agency, Rosa Garcia. Hello, ladies. Hello, mommies. That's what
We made it here, right?
Well,
I know this morning was stressful for all of us because we all have kids.
Well, you know,
Rhina's like, she got it together.
No. Well, I'm a little more used to it. You know, mine is 9.
That's true.
So
that's true.
we've got somewhat of a routine set up, but it doesn't always work according to plan.
No.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about motherhood, right, Veronica? Well, you and I, we've known each other very many years. We've known each other.
A mom, right?
Yes.
And I was there when Charvita was being bored.
Oh, wow.
I filled in for Rhina.
That's right. You filled in the day I went into labor. Good trick.
Right? It's been a long time.
It has. And we're like, well, I'm 1 kid later, 2 kids later.
Yeah.
And then we have Rosa, who has 2.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the motherhood aspect of where you're at before we even get into Moms Make It Work.
Well, you know what's so funny is that I was inspired by this idea 8 years ago, right? Before I even became a mom. I was inspired. Yeah, I was inspired by my mom. And you know how they always say Oprah has her hand in everything? You know how it got started? Because Oprah was having a contest. And she was like, I need a new show idea. And I'm like, what's a show idea? What's a show idea? And I was thinking about my mom, about how she sacrificed everything and how she always put her all into us. But then now she was becoming an empty nester. And it was like, what's the next step? So I was like, wouldn't it be great to have a show based on moms who are empty nesters and we give them a chance to fulfill their dreams?
That's a great idea.
Oprah didn't choose me. So,
That's all right.
That's all right.
That's why you're where you're at now.
Right. The idea kept on staying with me, but it could never come into fruition, I guess, because I couldn't understand what motherhood was about. I wasn't a mom yet. But now 8 years later, a mom of 2, I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I'm understanding the unpredictability. I don't want to say the ups and downs, the unpredictability of motherhood, of what it could be. And now I see myself kind of struggling sometimes, like, how can I balance everything out with my career and motherhood? And sometimes it would be hard because I'll be sitting there and I'm with the babies and I'm like, and I see everybody on their timeline and everything doing what they're doing, my peers, and I'm like, what am I doing? But then you have to remember, You're being a mother.
Yes.
You're giving the greatest gift.
Well, that's your first.
Yes.
I always say that's my primary occupation
Right.
because I'm a mom first, and everything I do revolves around that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm blessed in the work that I do because I'm able to be there for her and
Yep.
be her primary caregiver while still maintaining my business and doing my on-air work
Yeah.
and any other projects that I take on based on the lifestyle that I've chosen.
Right.
Now, Rosa, on the other hand, I'm very curious as
How I do it?
Well, mainly because you have a nightlife in a sense, right?
Yes.
Because you own a restaurant, and so having a restaurant requires evenings as well. So talk about that part before we even get into 31 Agency.
I mean, I started with My Haven Bar in 2013. Then I took over My Haven on the Go in 2016. Now I just started My Haven Hospitality Group, where I also manage 2 other restaurants. So I have My Haven on the Go, which I had to pause because I couldn't be on the truck. My Haven Hospitality, which I have already a month and a half with My Haven Bagel, that I am consulting them from beginning to the end. And I have another restaurant that I'm consulting, and I have another coffee shop that's in New Jersey, but I'm not doing that one until I do. So I just realized on Monday I was up 21 hours, and I had to be up at 5. So it's a matter of, I don't think about it. I do a to-do list in my head, and I make everything happen.
You make it work.
And that's it.
Your mom
Yeah.
make it
Yep,
work.
she makes it work. So how old are your children?
11 and 2.
11 and 2.
Yes.
And how do you balance?
I would not be able to do any of this if it wasn't for my mom and my sister. Like today, I had to be at the bagel shop consulting at 7 a.m. My sister had to drop off my kid at work. My little one had to sleep over my mom, so I could get some sleep and get to work on time.
Yeah, and recharge. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about recharge. I think I need an oil change right now.
An oil change.
I'm shaking.
And you see, everything that Rosa is talking about is about a support system, right? And that's why I was like, Moms Make It Work is important, because I want moms to know that they don't have to do all this alone.
No.
And you know, not everyone is lucky like us, right? To have our moms in the picture. I have my mom and my mom-in-law in the picture to help me out. But
I'm not one of those lucky ones because my mom lives in a different state.
Oh, wow. So who
Yeah.
helps you?
My assistant, Jay Spock.
See?
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
he's
but
my
he's part of
assistant,
your
but he's
mommy
also my
tribe.
daughter's godfather, and so he's been helping me raise my daughter. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it really boils down to the fact that we need a support
You do.
system. There's no way. It
Absolutely.
takes a tribe.
It takes a tribe.
But I like what you're doing with Moms Make It Work and bringing a group of women together
Yeah.
to support each other. Because one thing about like my daughter's school, right? My daughter goes to a progressive school, and so we're like a community, and so we take care of each other as well. So we also have that level
That's
of
good.
support, right? It's not just, oh, we drop her off from school. We have another level of dialogue going on where we back each other up, and if it's, oh, let's take the children, can you take the children to the park for half an hour? I'll be there to pick them up
Right.
after school, because you know they have their own hangout
Yes.
park. Well, you already know.
Yeah.
And so, but the point is that in sharing with you, which obviously I can
Yeah.
relate,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of strategizing.
It does. It does.
You won't be able to do it.
I know it's No, but let me tell you, this is the reason, like with the launch party, right? Why I wanted to team up with Rose and why I was so inspired by her. Not only because she's a mom, but also because of her campaign that she's doing with I Am Me. You know, I always said that for moms, that I want you to go and like search deep, dig deep, and remember what you always wanted. Remember what you always desired, because it's not by accident. Of course, we're raising our kids, so by nature, it's like, okay, you know, my kids need this. We want to fulfill them with everything that they need to push them forward to be great citizens of
Independent.
Yeah, to be a contribution to society.
right?
Absolutely, yeah.
But then when we're doing that, we put ourselves on the back burner. And by the time they're grown, 18 years has gone by, and
lost
it's
your
like,
identity.
what? You lost your identity. So it's like, how can we want to provide the resources.
That's a really
that
good point.
We want to provide the resources that will be able to help you maintain your identity and also give you the freedom to put yourself first. When-
Not feel guilty about
Not-
putting yourself
no,
first,
exactly.
because
You
that's what
shouldn't.
happens
You shouldn't.
as once you become a mom.
Yeah.
It becomes like, oh,
You become second.
Yeah.
you know, oh, the time, oh, I have to put her to bed, oh, but I do have to attend this event.
Right.
You know, that those kind of factors always come into play, and I like that you created this campaign, I Am Me. Now
you.
tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, I brought something for you.
You did.
There's a goodie bag for you.
Oh,
It has
yes.
a hat and a pin and a sticker for you.
I
No,
appreciate
you're
that.
very welcome.
Thank you.
IME just came pretty much from my daughter, my 11-year-old, being picked in school, and people wanting her to fit in and be different. I want her to love herself for who she is. I don't want her to try to fit in or be anyone else. Again, going back to the identity part, I feel like my mom also lost her identity in, raising my sister and myself, to the point where she didn't get to learn English as a second language. She had to work, mediocre jobs because they wouldn't hire her because she didn't speak English. And I kind of understand now as an adult why she's miserable sometimes, because she didn't get to do all the things that she could have done if she had, the advantages that she would gave us as kids to be where I am today. And the IME is just pretty much, I feel like humans, society try to put you in a box where you're supposed to act this way, you're supposed to be this way, and everyone is different. That's why I also have a shirt with like a fingerprint. We're all unique. No one is like you. No one can ever be you.
Right, exactly.
Never.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
before we go, we have to talk about the event.
Yeah,
That's the whole point we're here. We're like,
the event. I know. There's so much to talk about. I know, right?
It could be
It should be two.
Yeah.
But we're talking. So it's Moms Make It
Just
Work
so you know,
presents.
we extended it because I knew it was going to be longer.
Thank you. It's Moms Make It Work presents The Exchange, and we called it The Exchange because we're coming to exchange ideas, inspiration, love. We're just coming to be a part of a community where we can understand each other and inspire one another and support one another to go towards our dreams. So we're going to have massages on site. We want them to come and relax, mimosas, food passed around, but then also we're going to have a panel discussion so that they can hear from moms from every stage of motherhood. Because Moms Make It Work, I don't want people to see us and think, oh, that's for millennial moms. No, it's for mothers in every stage of motherhood. We're talking about new moms, moms with tweens, moms who have kids going to college, moms who are stay-at-home moms, empty nesters. It's because what do we all have in common? Motherhood.
Right.
And we want us all to come together and unite on that day for the exchange. Rosa is going to be a part of the panel. She's going to be the mompreneur on the panel. Then we also have Jo Morrison, who's a stay-at-home mom by choice, and she's also a blogger. And then we have Heidi Rosario, who's an educator. She has raised 5 kids, and she
went back to school for her master's in her 50s.
Exactly. She reminds me of my mom. My mom did the same thing, went back to school, got her master's, and we're looking to them as the example. These are our mothers with wisdom. We should not forget them. They have so much wisdom to impart to us. So it's going to be a great panel.
Oh, it sounds like a great panel.
Yeah.
And of course, there's mimosas
and
massages.
And massages.
Woo! Relaxation.
So I want
a day of
everyone-
relaxation, you guys.
We're just missing a daycare.
Yes, that's coming soon. But we just want to give you the link. It's momsmakeitwork.eventbrite.com. Tickets are going fast, so we
have
encourage you.
70 tickets.
Yes. So we're going to be putting in a cap soon. So go on and register RSVP. We hope to see you there October 6th.
Beautiful. Thank you for coming, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Veronica, Rosa.
Thank you.
Mommies, mompreneurs. I salute you.
Salute you too.
Thank you. All right, you guys, Moms Make It Work. The exchange event is taking place October 6th, and that's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. 10 p.m.?
1 p.m. 10
1
a.m. to
p.m.
10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Why they wrote 6? Oh,
They want us
sorry.
to party
My
all
bad.
night long.
They want
They want the exchange
right. The
extended.
massages were going to be extended, but no, it's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Excuse me. Once again, the Moms Make It Work, the exchange event is taking place October 6th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Mott Haven Bar and Grill, which is located at 1 Bruckner Boulevard. And for more, you can visit momsmakeitwork/eventbrite.com.
And follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
And of course, follow them on Instagram and Facebook. All right, we're taking a quick break, but when we return, we'll discuss Lehman Center for the Performing Arts performance season. So stay right there.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Chiru has no choice. She and millions like her walk miles a day for dirty water. But together, we can end their walk by providing clean water close by. Instead of spending hours walking to get water that makes them sick, girls can be in a classroom and moms will gain back time to care for their families. Sons and daughters can grow up strong, finally free of sicknesses. It's true. When you just add water, you change a life. Learn more at worldvision.org.
Open, everyone. You know, I was inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. Lehman Center for the Performing Arts is celebrating its 38th anniversary season with a tribute to the music of the Palladium era, featuring the legendary Mambo Legends Orchestra and special guest singer Gilberto Santa Rosa. And joining us to tell us about the upcoming season, we welcome the Executive Director for Lehman Center for the Performing Arts, Eva Bornstein, and her Executive Assistant, Janet Sanchez. Hello and welcome, ladies.
Hello.
It's
How are
always
you?
exciting to have you here at the top of the school year. And although you don't really program according to such, it just always seems to be like, oh, we're heading towards the end of the year. Now it's going to get really fiery.
Yes, Rina, and we miss your company all the time.
You miss my company?
Yes,
Oh, because
so
I haven't been there backstage
right.
Okay, hint,
Yes,
hint.
so
On
we need
air,
to-
she put she put me on the spot.
It's definitely, must.
Okay, got it.
So this season is very special, Rina, because we have been very busy. The college has been very busy. And I would like to extend a very special thanks to Rene Rotolo because she secured grants for us, and we are going through $15.5 million renovation of the center.
Amazing.
Yes. And, I thought that this day would never come, but after 15 years of being at Lehman Center, I'm happy to let you know that you're going to come back and you're going to sit in brand new seats.
Lovely.
Beautiful seats.
So, but when you say renovation, what does that mean for the actual season?
Well, the season is slightly disrupted for us, not for the public, because the construction company is working around our schedule. So right now, the auditorium, as we speak, people are sweeping and cleaning, but it will be ready by tomorrow, for sure. The seats are all already placed. They're already there.
Oh, they're already there.
Yes.
I also understand that you're going to make it handicap accessible.
Well, that's the whole idea because, we get a lot of seniors attending and it's a two-story building. So, yes, the main reason for the renovations is not only to enhance the experience of our public, but also to make it handicap accessible for our seniors. So there will be installation of elevators and the lobby will be expanded. And they're adding new bathrooms as well, so that it will be much better experience for everybody. I know that lobby gets very
Are they making
crowded.
the bathrooms bigger? Because, this is
That's
close
a
to
work in
3,000
process.
seats. Well, that's
Next year we should have that all
Okay.
done.
Yeah.
But truly, this will be now, truly, the Lincoln Center of the Bronx.
Yes, well, that's what it is. That's how we know it, right? It is.
It is.
I say you do such wonderful programming, really, really. Let's talk about the 38th season.
Yes.
The 38th season, well, tomorrow we open up our season with the Mambo Legends and, of course, Gilberto Santa Rosa, which he is so much loved. It's a wonderful show tomorrow, Palladium era. I mean, we're going to be dancing. You're going to see people dancing. It's a great, great show. And I would like for everybody that people that don't know about it to come tomorrow and see this wonderful show.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Rhina, first
yes.
of all, to have Gilberto appear.
I know.
You know, it's a big
very
deal.
big.
It is a big deal.
Big deal.
Yeah.
And you know, someone who is very close to us, Mr. Robert Sancho, has helped us enormously in securing the date with Gilberto, because Gilberto is all over the world. And so it's such an honor to host Gilberto Santa Rosa for our opening. I mean, it's so exciting. First of all, new seats. There's going to be a new lobby in the spring of 2019, not too far away. And then our season is really star-studded season this year. I'm very proud of how things came together this season.
And so, do you want to mention any of the other upcoming
Well,
performances?
then we have on Saturday, September 29, Olga Tañón, La Mujer de Fuego.
All the big names.
She gave you the eyebrow. She's like,
Yes, and Sheila E's coming also.
Oh my goodness.
October 13 with Tony, Denise Williams. We have a great mix this year.
Yes, we're trying to.
all the flavors.
We're trying to make our season as diverse as our wonderful Bronx is. So you have people coming from China, you have people coming
Italy.
from Spain, from Italy, from Israel, from all over the globe. So it really, we are very passionate about what we do, and we love our audiences, and I truly, truly encourage parents to bring their children, because if you go to Lincoln Center, you go and spend a fortune.
Right, and no, I've been to the cultural programming, and my daughter absolutely loves the cultural programming.
Exactly.
However, that's probably doesn't apply to tomorrow night, because tomorrow is a party night at Lehman Center for the Performing Arts. So before we go, let's talk about what time it starts, and exactly
Tomorrow
what
at
everybody's
8
going to
p.m.
experience.
Our box office opens at 4 p.m. tomorrow, and they could call also 718-960-8835, and they could still purchase online, www.lehmancenter.org.
We also have a new program that we installed for the past 2 seasons, and that is VIP, which you said are one of.
VIP, so I'm one of them.
Yes.
And she did it on air again. I got the hint. I will be there. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, you guys, the Lehman Center for the Performing Arts 38th season. It kicks off this Saturday, September 22nd at 8 p.m. And for tickets, be sure to visit lehmancenter.org. And once again, you can call the Lehman Center box office at 718-960-8833. And once again, the box office opens at 4 mañana to see Gilberto Santa Rosa.
Camínalo.
Stay tuned, you guys. Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
We begin on the NFL gridiron, where the New York Jets had a rough week. First, it was the team's home opener Sunday at MetLife Stadium. Gang Green was flying high off their 48-17 victory on Monday Night Football to kickstart the season, but all that came crashing down against Miami. The Dolphins started strong and held off the Jets 20-12. Here's reaction from the post-game locker room.
like the missed opportunities in the first half when you guys start to get back in the game late in the game? Do you feel like you're maybe turning a corner or might be able to come back?
No, I mean, we had the belief that we could win that game even when we were coming in at halftime. Being down 20-0, you know, been in positions like that before, and we've, you know, pulled out some games. So we weren't worried whatsoever. You know, we just had to pick up the energy for sure, and definitely just come out just a little bit harder. You know, we obviously didn't come out hard enough in the first half, so I definitely just tried to harp on that in the second, and just unfortunately fell short.
You know, I'm obviously disappointed about the loss. You know, first home game. You know, we came off of a big win last week, and we wanted to keep staying consistent. But overall, I'm not disappointed in my team. You know, guys coming in here, hanging our heads high still. Nobody's walking around moping and acting like, you know, this is the end of the world. And, you know, we know that this is a long road ahead of us. And, you know, we're going to see them again later on down the road. And, you know, guys are ready to get after the next one.
Well, I would definitely hope that, you know, they still believe in us, man. I mean, it's one game. We definitely, you know, we lost, obviously. But, you know, to give up on, you know, organization after one loss is, you know, I don't agree with. But, hey, it's not our place to judge. At the end of the day, we got to go out there and continue to do what we do. And hopefully, you know, the fans are supporting us through thick and thin.
The Jets had to shake that off in a short work week. They got back at it Thursday night on the road in Cleveland. This time they started amazing, going up 14-0 against the lowly Browns. But the Jets suffered an epic meltdown with plenty of fault to spread around. Rookie signal caller Sam Darnold threw 2 late picks, and the Jets blew a 2-touchdown lead, becoming the first team to lose to the Browns in 635 days. Top draft choice Baker Mayfield came in at quarterback and rallied Cleveland in a stunning finish. I'm sure plenty of Jet fans went to bed last night thinking Thursday night football was a wrap, to wake up this morning to the shocking score. The Jets will look to rebound at Jacksonville on September 30th. Rebound is the same word the New York Giants should focus in on. Big Blue fell to 0-2 in Dallas last Sunday. The offense couldn't seem to get out of its own way. Eli Manning was sacked 6 times. Manning and the G-men are mastering the check down, and it's getting them nowhere. He is completing a high percentage of passes in the first 2 weeks, but virtually nothing is happening downfield. The result, a 2013 loss to the Cowboys on the road. The return from injury of star wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. and the addition of prize rookie running back Saquon Barkley provided plenty of optimism for the Giants entering the season. A similar mindset was held by the Houston Texans, who had lofty expectations of their own with second-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and standout defensive end J.J. Watt back to full health. Yet when the Giants conclude a 2-game Texas road trip with a visit to Houston on Sunday, the biggest common denominator among the two teams will be the desperation of avoiding a dispiriting 3-0 start to the season. That game on Sunday gets rolling at 1 p.m. On the baseball diamond, the Bronx Bombers look sharp in dismantling their rival Tuesday and Wednesday nights at the big ballpark in the Bronx. The Yankees put a hurting on the first-place Boston Red Sox. They fell behind Thursday night, but a grand slam homer by Giancarlo Stanton looked to turn the tide until the bullpen faltered late in the game. The final outcome, the Sox clinched their 3rd consecutive AL East title with an 11-6 victory over the second-place Yankees. On the bright side, Luke Voit and the Bombers set 2 home run records with 1 swing of the bat. The brawny first baseman hit a 2-run shot to straightaway center field in the second inning Thursday night against Boston, giving the Yankees a major league record 12 players with at least 10 homers this season. Voigt's homer also was the 246th for New York this year, breaking the franchise mark set in 2012. The Bronx Bombers ended the night with 247, including Stanton's 7th career grand slam in that 4th inning. The long balls, though, they weren't enough. The Yankees will need to secure the top wild card spot the rest of the regular season and then duke it out in the playoffs come October. At least the Yanks are getting healthy. Aaron Judge and Aroldis Chapman return from injury, helping to offset some of the recent developments in the Bronx. Mets captain David Wright will return this September, but last week he held a press conference to say that this final amazing homestand likely will be his last. He will start on September 29th, manning third base. The Mets will also start Jose Reyes at shortstop per Wright's request. The Mets top Washington 5-4 Thursday night. They continue their road trip in D.C. this weekend, while the Yanks welcome Baltimore to the Bronx. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. On the NBA hardwood, All-Star Jimmy Butler is seeking an exit in Minnesota. The star guard made headlines this week when he requested a trade. His three preferred destinations are Brooklyn, New York, and the L.A. Clippers, although sources say the Clippers top that list. Both the Knicks and the Nets will hold their media days on Monday. Training camps for the NBA start next week. In MLS action, NYCFC will take on Montreal Saturday. The New York Red Bulls will square off against Toronto on Saturday. The NHL preseason is underway. The Islanders and the Devils played each other Thursday night. The Isles posted a 2-0 victory. The Rangers and Islanders will play Saturday at 7 p.m. in Bridgeport, Connecticut. This past Sunday, Kiwi Scott Dixon won his 5th IndyCar championship as he continues to chase racing immortality. He is in a class of his own in IndyCar. And from the UFC, Khabib and McGregor hosted their first presser for their upcoming showdown in the Octagon. Conor was Conor, and he has already won the first battle of words. Should be a great fight. Reports are saying that McGregor has been inked to a new 6-fight deal, including his clash with Khabib. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list to plug Jacob deGrom for NL Cy Young. Sure, Mets ace Jacob deGrom is 8-9 this season, but deGrom leads the majors in WAR 8.0 and ERA 1.78. He trails only Boston ace Chris Sale in fielding independent pitching and has allowed 3 runs or fewer in 27 straight starts, the longest single-season streak in MLB history. deGrom has pitched 22 consecutive quality starts, which ties him with Bob Gibson back in 1968 and Chris Carpenter in 2005 for the longest streak in history. He has a 1.59 ERA against teams 500 or better. deGrom has 9 starts of at least 6 innings and 1 or 0 runs without getting a win. That's the most in history in a single season. Certainly sounds pretty worthy of the Cy Young to me. I hope he finishes 500 or slightly better. I think that will shore it up for him. Regardless, he should win the award. Share your thoughts with us on social media. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
I love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Music is a bridge between the material and the spiritual. As a blind person, you have to be aware that nobody can tell you what you can or can't do. You really have to try things. My wife, who was also blind, was a good cook. When she died, that's when I started Meals on Wheels. My name is Harvey Lauer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at America Let's...
Welcome back to Open, everyone. You know, always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. So, for me salseros, if you're, well, even if you're not a salsero, we can convert you into liking salsa and or Boricua music that you're going to love. Aurora Flores y Son del Barrio with their authentic sounds. That's right. The group officially debuted in the Puerto Rican Day Parade in 2003 and has performed for some of the top names in Latin music. And now they will present a concert of Celia's music in the Celia Cruz exhibition and concert held by the Woodlawn Cemetery and Conservancy. And joining us now to tell us more about the band and upcoming performance, we welcome singer and songwriter Aurora Flores and Fania all-star percussionist Nikki Marrero.
How you doing?
Hello and welcome.
Okay,
Hello,
good to see
Rhina, and open. We are open.
Yes, we're open. You know, we've been here for a minute now, and I'm happy to have you back, Aurora. I mean, you have come here with some legends who have now transitioned on, so it's just lovely that you are not only a band leader as a woman, right? Because I want to talk about that, but and kind of like just make sure that the music is presented to the next generation. But you also bring the artists into the space of, whereas maybe some of the millennials nowadays are unfamiliar. So and we have it documented, and I thank you for bringing them. You know, I'm talking about Yomo Toro, you know.
Oh, yeah, Yomo was great. And what was great, not only bringing the legends, was pairing them with the younger musicians around him, you know, percussionists like Oreste, Matthew Gonzalez, you know, they really surrounded Yomo. It was very familiar. It was like a family. It was like having an elder and getting the benefit of their wisdom and their experience and having the young people around him. And that's what Latinos are about. That's what we're about. That's what people of color are about.
That's especially what you're about with Son del Barrio, which is why Nikki Marrero's here. I mean, this is a gentleman who's played with Eddie Palmieri, who's won Grammys, and now, you know, he plays with the next generation. So
he's a Fania All-Star.
I know! We got a Fania.
Celia.
He played with Celia.
He was with Celia in Africa.
Okay,
he was with Celia.
Oh my gosh. I mean, how beautiful is that?
Yeah, well, it's a lot of experiences that I've enjoyed throughout my career, and especially with Celia, in different formats and with different occasions, different bands. But it was always exciting because she's a very exciting artist.
And just when I was
he's an original Bronx boy.
Well, we love that too. We love that too.
That's right.
But you know, it's just what a blessing that you got to play with her, and now you're playing tribute to her in her place of rest.
Well, it is. It's something that, because it's my interpretation of any situation with Celia is family. You know, because we were family type of friendship while we were performing, and it was very professional. There was a lot of technique. And it was very humble, and she was an artist, very professional at her trade, what she did, how she communicates through dancing, through singing, her dressing, and that also inspired me to get more flamboyant in my dressing and how to perform in front of public.
And so I see you walking around with your sticks under your arms.
You never know when you got to be on, you know. So I'm on now.
You're on.
And he's got the sticks to prove it.
It's right there, you know, ready to go.
I love that. I love that. So you mean if we would have had a table here, you would have been like, crack, crack, crack?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. I mean, they could telepathic the thing right out there. You know,
I love
it. All about rhythm and percussion and harmony.
And high energy, because you're high energy when you're performing.
I love doing that, and I love to educate percussion.
Yeah, he's a great teacher of percussion, which is also good. And that's what we do. We got to hand it down to the next generation. One of the things about salsa, unfortunately, culture begins at home. People think schools should teach it. It has to be taught at home. My mother always used to teach me about educación de la casa. You know, educación de la casa was our culture. And she was a stickler. She would not allow me to speak English in the home. She said, you speak English in school, out in the street, in the stores, on TV, on the radio. In my house, you speak in Spanish.
Okay.
And she taught me about Celia and about all this music. And then when I started in Latin music, one of the first people I interviewed is Celia. I was pregnant. It was her first interview on an American station like WBAI. We became friends. She baptized my son, De Agua. And she would always, like, every time she contacted me, she always talked talk to me about my son. Sometimes she'd call him "y nuestro hijo," our son.
She had a thing with kids, right?
Yeah.
She had like a special connection to children.
Because she didn't have children.
Let's talk a little bit about the Woodlawn Cemetery event and the curation of songs that you've decided to present, because you're kind of going to tell her story. Like,
I want to say the eras.
You're singing her history.
Yes.
You're singing her history.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's going to be
in song.
Yeah.
This is like a once-in-a-lifetime event. It's going to be open from Friday to Sunday, and then Sunday's the concert. I am going to be on some of the panels to talk about her history. But here in this mausoleum, I mean, what is so amazing for me, here's this mausoleum. Not everyone has a mausoleum. And Woodlawn Cemetery Conservancy, this is very, very valuable real estate to have a mausoleum there. And this is an Afro-Cuban woman, a black woman, who didn't speak a lick of English, and that she was honored the way she was in her death, and now in Woodlawn Cemetery, and they're putting a stage, and we're going to be doing her eras, when she started with Sonora Matancera, when she played with Tito Puente, her era with the Fania All-Star, and then the legacy she left us before she left. La Negra Tiene Tumbao, Carnaval, and we're going to end with Guantanamera.
And
because
then,
what else?
Of course, that's the big splash. That's the grand finale. And then we got Nicky Marrero on percussion.
Oh, yes, I'm going to get down.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt
He
it.
is going to underscore, and he is going to have staccato and piculate the whole thing.
I'd like to also mention that being that she's always modern. In all the levels that Aurora was talking about, her music is always modern, and it's also
timeless.
antiguous, and it has a lot of culture from Cuba, from Africa. I mean, it is amazing what it has extended through her music.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's something that I cherish a lot. And how to bring this to the young people, also by myself, by educating the young. I also like to continue doing that. That's what I do now, and people could get in touch with me through Facebook or Messenger. And I like to talk about my experiences with Celia, with Tefania, and all the other artists that are with us.
And for now, they can go see you guys on September 30th, right? Because,
September 30th.
Yeah, I want to make sure that they get the information. It's at 6?
3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock, right. So right now, we're kind of running out of time, and I want to make sure that people understand that you guys are going to be performing live with what, a 13-piece band?
13-piece band, 12, 13-piece band.
12, 13-piece band, Zon del Barrio. This is band leader right here.
With men, women, younger people, older people. We got legends like Nicky. We got people like Wilfredo, who also played with Cortijo and played with Celia and played with everybody, Tito Puente. So we've got a combination, and the only way we can hand this down to the next generation is involving them and giving them history and putting it in the context that they understand that really in this world, nothing's original. Everything's come before. Everything is it's a circle, and it's a circle of life.
It is a circle of life. That's a great closing, too, because you're going to be celebrating at her resting place, and we invite all of you to be a part of that. So once again, Aurora Flores y Zon del Barrio, they're going to be performing at Celia Cruz Exhibition and Concert on September 30th at 3 p.m. Thank you so much, Aurora, for being here, Nicky Marrero for being here, and also for being generous and giving of their time to personally invite you guys to be at the Woodlawn Cemetery and Conservancy. And for more information, you can visit woodlawnevents.org. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through, and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recablecast tonight and 24 hours a day at bronxnet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Adiós.
Azúcar.
Azúcar. I like that.